Hello Commanders, Commander Plater here, back with another really dangerous video, and today I'm going to be giving my first impressions and obligatory flight assist off landing on the Alliance Crusader. I want to mention this video is not as early as I wanted, but to be honest, I really wanted the Crusader hardpoints to be fixed before I made the video, and they have been. Not sure what I'm talking about? Well, when the Crusader was released, the hardpoints were, let's say, a little buggy. There were holes in the ships and things were, well, less than perfect. But that was all fixed in 3.21, so let's get on with the review. The first thing we're going to start with is a visual tour, and this is going to be impossible to do without referencing the Chieftain and the Challenger, as the Crusader is clearly cut from the same cloth as both of them. The cockpit is essentially the same, with that same Lakon squareness showing and the hooded canopy, which, as I've previously mentioned on the other videos, these really would be a bullet trap in reality. The landing gear configuration is also the same, and the rear landing struts extending from the engines is still something I'm not a fan of, but the only reason why I'm not a fan of it is due to the way the ships handle. They handle really well, and the Crusader is no exception. I feel like the thrusters are being well utilised, and would probably actually need all of that space inside the thruster for, well, thrusters. That said, it is something that sets the Alliance ships apart from the others. Unique and elite dangerous is always welcome. As mentioned, the thruster configuration from the Chieftain is back, with a 2 at the front and a 2 at the back. I'm pretty happy to see this, and even with the addition of the middle split spoiler is welcome to me, and it does add to the ship overall. It's worth pointing out the underneath of the ship. There had to be some adjustments made here to the undercarriage of the Crusader to allow its unique feature, the ability to equip a fighter bay. Overall, I'm happy with the aesthetics of the Crusader. Now, let's move on to those internals, shall we? We're going to be taking a look at a stock Crusader, pretty standard like we normally do. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is going to be the hardpoints. So it is equipped with 1 large, 2 medium and 3 small hardpoints. Now this is a little bit of a step down from previous models of Alliance ships, but what I will say is your outfitting options are going to remain very, very good. So you do have some potential to do a full multi-cannon build, full laser build, all that kind of stuff, but I typically do recommend you do the bit of a mixture. Always a good idea. So large hardpoint is located on the top. We have medium also on the top. This is one of the previously bugged hardpoints that was repaired. Then we have another medium underneath. Then we have the small 3 hardpoints that are all located on the top of the ship. Utility mounts. So onto the utility mounts, there are only 4, which is a bit of a shame. I've said this before. I do really want these Alliance ships to have more, maybe 5. That would be good, but I understand why they're going for a bit of a symmetry. So we do have 2 utility mounts on the underneath of the ship and 2 on the top, which does give you decent coverage for things like point defense as well as chaff. Core internals. So nothing really surprising here. Essentially it's identical internals to the Challenger and also the Chieftain. So size 6 power plant, size 6 thrusters, size 5 frameshift drive, 5 life support, 6 power distributor, 4 sensors and a 4 fuel tank. So not much of a difference there, so it does mean it's a straight swap of modules, which I have done, and I've moved this over to a Combat Crusader build, and actually really happy with it so far. On to optionals, and this is where things do get a little bit more interesting, I would say. So we have this size 6 slot, and this size 6 slot is the one you really want to consider what you put in there. A lot of people are saying, oh well, you have to put your fighter bay in there. No you don't. Put in the size 5, put the size 6 as your shield, you're all good. One thing I will say is that the rest of the internals are a little bit disappointing. So we do have a 6, a 5, 2 3s, 2 2s, and then we have these 3 military compartments which are size 4, which does enable you to get the hull strength quite high, especially if you do kind of go heavy duty and you really kind of specialise the hull. What I will say is though, the outfitting options are pretty limited if you do want a fighter, and no, this is not going to be any good for cargo hauling, despite what the initial loadout may look like. Well Commanders, here we are, the flight assist off landing part of the video. I say every time I do these, I really don't know why I chose to do them, but here we are all the same. Now hopefully everyone should know the drill by now. We start at 5 kilometers out from this station, then we are going to make sure that we turn off a couple of modules. First thing we want to turn off is our shields, because hey, It's no fun if you're landing with shields, you bounce around all over the place. The next thing that we want to turn off as well is rotation correction. We must make sure that is switched off, as well as we must also turn off flight assist, which is the whole point of doing this. Now, previously with the Chieftain and also the Challenger, I found them very, very good handling wise, and again I know the Crusader is also very nice to handle. How to see how this landing goes, as this is the first time I'm doing this, as usual, with the flight assist off in this particular ship, and I guess we're going to give it a go. First thing I want to do is also request a docking permission. I almost forgot to do that. And let's get ourselves in there, shall we? So obviously rotation correction being off means that we do have to make sure that we get our rotation in, and we kind of match it to the station, which we've almost got there. We don't want to be coming in too fast, which we already are, so we want to slow down, take the pace off a touch, because as we get closer, the kind of lineup error becomes more obvious. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why rotation correction doesn't really matter. And I kind of say this, that with you, when as soon as you turn flight assist off, rotation correction doesn't matter because you can adjust it, and as soon as you have your rotation in, nice and smooth through the slot there. You see, I'm not being affected by the rotation, I'm not having to correct at all because I initially got my correction in. Now what we do need to do is deploy landing gear. It's actually going pretty well so far. I probably should have said that, to be honest. Here we go. It's going to be nice and smooth. If this turns out to be one of the best landings yet, I'm probably going to stick with the Crusader actually. I prefer it over the Chieftain just because of the firepower differences, and oh my goodness, this. Okay, forward a touch, just a little bit, because we're right on the pad. Smashed it. That went really well. Pretty happy with that. Handles very nicely, very responsive. No having to mess around with pips, and that's just 2 pips and everything as well. Normally with the flight assist off landings, I typically take pips out of everything, just because it slows it all down. It gives me a little bit more of the flexibility with regards to movement. I know normally the other way around, you get increased responsiveness, but for me, that worked pretty nicely. Very, very happy with that. Well, there you go, Commanders. A quick look at the Alliance Crusader. I'm interested to hear your thoughts, so do leave me a comment and let me know. And so thank you for watching. Please make sure that you like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you get an alert every time I put a new video out. Also, whilst you're there, if you are looking to support the channel, please make sure you check out the links in the video description, as there are a couple of different ways to do so. But once again, thank you for watching. Commander Plater, out.